In this video, we are going to be talking about some breaking NFT news and some major updates on some of our favorite projects. First thing we're going to talk about is what's going on in the crypto markets in general. Everything has been moving sideways for the most part since yesterday's video. Ethereum still at that 1.3. So far, everything's been kind of stable. You know, as long as it's stable and the market's still alive, that's good by me. Let's go ahead and get into some major projects, which has some really interesting innovations I want to talk about. Now, the first project that I want to talk about is going to be Azuki. Azuki recently just announced this thing called the Physical Backed Token, PBT, as an open source token standard, tying a physical item to a digital token on Ethereum blockchain. I've been thinking about this quite a lot, where for NFTs, sometimes these things go to zero, right? But if you're able to attach that item to a physical product, now, even if the NFT goes to zero, at least you got the physical product. And I think that's going to be a step forward for the space, where you can't necessarily get rugged, because as long as the physical product is worth the amount that you're willing to pay, you're getting some sort of value. And then if that NFT goes up in value or it stays the same, that's also fine too. Then you can sell it for whatever it is and you got your physical product. So Azuki is building a platform for other people to build on top of, right? So when I look at this, I'm thinking like, hey, is it possible for someone to start a business using this software, which is open source, and start selling their own NFTs, whether it's a commission art, where you get like a physical print in the mail and you get the NFT, and people are already buying the NFT version of art anyways, so you might as well put a physical to it. Or you're buying a luxury jacket, for example, or any luxury product or any collectible can technically use this technology to have an NFT element and a physical element. And the interesting part here is that these physical items are able to scan. So if you can, in the skateboard, you can kind of scan the skateboard with your phone, and it will say this skateboard is indeed, in fact, the correct skateboard, and it is connected to this NFT, right? So it's like proof of ownership, proof that this is the real one. Potentially, although not guaranteed, this might open up a whole new creative class of people who want to create physical and digital products. Because this technology is open source, you can just use what Azuki's built and build on top of it, right? And of course, why does Azuki do this? Well, they are trying to build a platform. So if you have looked at the recent feature that Azuki added to their website, which is a collector's profile. So on this profile, you're able to show off what Azukis you have or other digital assets like beans and Bobu farmers. And then you also have these badges where it's like you have certain rare Azukis, certain elements or whatever, you get a special badge for that, or participation badges as well. So what I think will possibly happen is the Azuki.com is going to be a platform where people showcase the NFTs they collect. The first product that you can buy is a skateboard, right? It's going to come with a golden skateboard. You're going to get an NFT, and then from there you can show it on your collection, and you could be like, hey everybody, I'm so cool because I collected this golden skateboard, which definitely does have value, just like how people collect art and put it in their house. If you think about it, instead of just Azuki creating these luxury product, what if other people were able to create their own NFTs using this technology and then sell it on Azuki.com, for example, if there's a marketplace, and then people can show off what they have in their collection, right? So I definitely see this becoming potentially some kind of marketplace, because the play, if you want to be $1 billion company, is actually being a marketplace and enabling other creators to create on top of yours, just like how businesses are ran on Instagram and TikTok, right? It's the platform that becomes extremely valuable, because that's where people put their attention. And if you're that platform that kind of controls the attention, then you're getting a piece of every dollar or Ethereum or whatever that moves by. And where will it go from here? Before I wasn't too sure, because before I was only seeing like the visual storyboards and stuff, right? But now I'm seeing the tech behind it. I can kind of see like, okay, like there's actually a platform that's being built. Now, enough about Azuki. Let's move on to the next project, which is going to be Pixelmon. I actually just did an interview with Julio, new CEO of Pixelmon, and we talked all about their rebranding strategy and how they're going to try to turn this around and really go hard when it comes to mobile gaming and Web3 gaming and things like that. But real quick on the news, they're introducing a staking mechanic where you're able to stake your Pixelmon NFT, and then you stake it, and after a certain amount of time, you will be able to get your trainer, right? So of course, by staking, you're not going to sell, so there's less selling pressure, and then you're going to get NFT if you hold on to it. And it seems like they are actually trying to build, and I know there's a negative stigma towards Pixelmon, and people are saying like, oh, it was a rug, and what's going on now, right? And so watch the interview next week or the week after that to get all the exclusive details on what Pixelmon plans to do in the upcoming years. Next piece of news that we are going to cover is going to be Toys R Us are going to be building on top of Solana. Very interesting that Toys R Us decided to build on Solana, probably because someone in the business development team on Solana was able to like connect with them and then convince them why Solana is better than, let's say, using Ethereum, right? But the bullish news for us as people who are in the Web3 space is that brands like Toys R Us are coming back with a vengeance. They're coming back hard after some turbulence in the retail side, and they're coming with NFTs. So why is this bullish? Well, if you think about it, if NFTs become mainstream adopted and widely accepted everywhere, if you buy a physical product like a teddy bear, for example, should that also come with with an NFT, should that also be connected to like an app or something like that so you can keep track of all the things that you bought? That's potentially a future, right? So possibly everything that we do becomes an NFT and people won't even call it an NFT. It will just be a thing, like a digital collectible that you have every time you buy a physical product as proof that you actually did buy it. So that is bullish for the NFT space in general. Now, I don't see too much news about what they are going to create or how they are going to use NFT technology to revolutionize the toy industry, but they are trying, and that is interesting to me. Next project we're going to talk about is another blue chip project, and that's going to be Artifact. They are doing a collaboration with Rimowa, which is one of the more luxury luggage companies in the space. What will the product look like? We're not too sure yet, but this is a collaboration. Artifact obviously wants to be a luxury brand, so they're collaborating with luxury brands to position themselves in that way. Now, when it comes to the distribution of this NFT, Benito over here says the Rimowa mint will be available to all. With a raffle system, you don't need a clone. So a lot of people are saying like, hey, that doesn't make sense because we have clones. Shouldn't you guys reward us? Shouldn't we be the ones first in line? And he says, we have something special in the raffle for clones still. Don't worry. What is that news? Don't know. But of course, everybody likes speculation. It drives floor price, mystery, gets people talking, and at least people are engaging, right? I think if they showed all their cards, definitely the brand wouldn't be as interesting. So definitely it's a marketing move, but hopefully they do something, make all the holders happy and things like that. What I find interesting about this is Artifact is doing a physical product with Rimowa. It actually kind of connects back to Azuki, right? Because Azuki, when they're building out their platform, they're trying to do physical products using this physical back token and have an NFT version. If you think about it, isn't that exactly what Rimowa is doing over here? They're working with Artifact to give you an NFT plus a physical product that you can verify that it's the real deal Rimowa, because these are thousands of dollars for luggage, right? So you need to verify that you have the real one and not a knockoff. Definitely two different projects, but kind of in the same lane in a sense when it comes to physical NFTs and digital NFTs. And I believe the future, you know, all the e-commerce companies, anyone who sells luxury product or premium products, especially high margin products, I think they're going to start looking into NFTs after these collaborations, because they're going to say like, hey, we already do revenue doing Web 2 stuff. Why not just add another revenue stream in Web 3, and then we'll just sell our products that we usually sell, make it a little more special, and then add an NFT on top of that, and then sell it for a premium. Fat profit margins for sure. But I think a lot of people are going to look in that direction. In other news, this company called MYTY is supporting Doodles. I don't know if this is a official collaborations, but what they're doing is they're allowing people to use their Doodles basically on a voice chat, right? So it's kind of like how you can use a CloneX as an AR filter, like on Snapchat or something. I think they're doing the same thing, but instead of a 3D avatar, they're going to be using a 2D picture of your Doodles. And then looking at their Medium article, these are some samples of it. I don't really see if this is going to be an official collaboration with Doodles, so can't really say too much there, but interesting that if it's not a collaboration, it's interesting that a company would build like this. And if it is a collaboration, also cool as well. Next piece of news that we have is that Digi Daigaku, who has like $20 million in funding, is going to be purchasing a Superbowl ad. Now, they are one of the first projects to do a Superbowl ad, but I don't believe they are the first. I think other projects have done it before. I saw on Twitter someone was like, it costs $6 million to do a 30-second ad. I don't know if that's actually the case, but I'm pretty sure it definitely costs millions, right? Gabriel, I believe his previous companies, they bought Super Bowl ads for their previous games. I mean, those games were doing like over $1 billion in revenue. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing from an acquisition standpoint. My personal feeling on this, although I'm not an expert when it comes to Super Bowl ads, is that they just want attention, right? So they want as many people to know what Digi Daigaku is, so that when they run the ads later on the App Store or wherever they're going to run the ads, the cost to acquire each user hopefully is cheaper for them because that person is already familiar with this character. An important part of this is that Digi Daigaku is a gaming company, right? So they're not the typical PFP project where they're only marketing to people who are still left in NFT Twitter. What they're doing is they're building a game that needs a lot of users, millions of users. They're going to spend tens of millions of dollars, maybe more, on acquiring new users. They're going to get them into a game on the mobile phone, and they need those people who play the game to purchase in-app purchases, whether it's a skin and things like that, which may be NFTs, but they won't probably be marketed as NFTs. It'll probably just be like a regular game that just has an NFT backend element to it. So if you think about it that way, it doesn't even matter what the price of a Genesis Digi Daigaku is, because they're going to make all the money running ads, getting people in the game to buy in-app purchases just like any other mobile game would. But they have this element of NFTs and stuff, and you can sell your assets, and that creates a whole new bonus to it. For them, it probably makes sense, but for, let's say, another project that only focuses on marketing within the NFT space, it does not make sense because you're just wasting money, right? So I think it's all about understanding who your audience is, understanding where your monetization comes from. And I think this is actually a pretty interesting case study to see if whether or not that it will work. And by the way, if you want to learn more about NFT sales and marketing, make sure you check out the Parallax Academy. This is where we're going to dive deep into the inner workings of how to actually build a project and using my experience building the Parallax and also advising other projects as well. So if you want to join that, you definitely need to pick up a Parallax Genesis. Link is in the description if you want to check out the OpenSea link or other links that we have. Now, that's everything that we have to cover in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one.